What's up, fam? It's your boy Darren Brown with Darmac Builders and Brightway Insurance. Coming to you on a Friday. This week went by really fast. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's being safe. You got your masks, washing your hands, doing your social distancing, and doing what you need to do. I want to talk to you guys about solidifying your team, continue to network, continue to make your business better no matter what field is in. I don't know how I got this cup stuck in here. So as always, I always come unfiltered. So you may see me doing things. I'm like right now, not kind of like organized, but it's all good. It's all good. So, yeah. So when you have a business, and I guess I want to say it all depends on what type of business you have, but when you have a business, you is as strong as your they say the weakest link. I mean, you got to have everybody has to know their role and their position and how they're going to make the sums of the part become better than the whole, right? And throughout the years, I realized that is something that I needed to strengthen up. It's like who is in my immediate circle, who is who I can rely on, how I can nurture those relationships, make those relationships better, have a dialogue with my fellow contractors, my subs, my vendors. It's about relationship building, right? So you can't be the person that believe that you can do everything without a team. I mean, we're watching playoff basketball. We're watching almost like playoff baseball. We're watching football. It's all a team, and you are going to be as good as everybody around you. Okay. You're not playing golf. You're not playing tennis. Anything like that. And even with that, you're going to need somebody behind the scenes to kind of like motivate you and push you and things like that. So when it comes onto a business, you got to say, okay, who's going to be in that group? And so like with me, it's my direct employees who works with me, right? It's the people that I lean on more than they probably realize, because though my employees is my most prized asset. It's not my equipment. It's not my the vehicles. It's not like that. It's your employees, and that's where there comes an appreciation when your employees do what they're supposed to do, and they making your life easier by taking your vision and your goals and taking it forward, right? So for me, it's not about, I have my license, I have all that, but it's my employees who are my prize asset when it comes onto Darmac. And sometimes people forget about that. They feel like, I can do it on my own, and they can have that little, hissy fit, or they arguing, whatever, thinking that, I can do this by myself. No, you can't. You rely on the people that is under your employ. Simple. And if you can't make it work, you need to make some changes, because you're not equipped to do everything by yourself. You're not set up to do everything by yourself. So unless you understand your company and what your company is trying to achieve and what they're trying to accomplish, I don't care how much knowledge you have. I don't care what your ability is or what time you get up or whatever the case may be. If you don't have the right people working with you, you're wasting your time. You're literally wasting your time. So I just wanted to come and talk a little bit about that. Like when it comes on to your employees, pick your employees wisely. It doesn't have to be a family member. I get it. Hey, I want to work with my family, this, that, but sometimes that doesn't work. Your family doesn't want to work. They don't know what it takes. They don't, they feel sometimes entitled or obligated. It's like, well, I'm working because you want me to work, or I'm here because, I'm family. No, and no at the top, right? It's a business. Everybody has a role that must be played, and everybody has to follow through on that, regardless of whatever the situation may be. Okay? So don't take it personal, and don't you think you're taking it personal if you happen to own a company and you feel like, well, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to get anybody mad, or I don't want nobody to get anybody upset with me, or well, if you take that approach, there's a chance that you won't be in business very long. Because if you decide that you want to be, people go around talking about boss, or you want to be the employer, there are certain decisions that you're going to have to make that's probably is not going to be as favorable as you may like. Okay, it may not be agreed on as you may like, but nevertheless, those decisions have to be made. There's some tough decisions, and people don't understand the role. I think now people don't understand what roles that people must take on to do certain things, right? If you a head coach or something, or you a manager or something, there's certain decisions that you're going to have to make that others are not going to have to make, and it's going to have to rest with you when it comes on to the results of it. So if you don't like that role and you don't want to take that position, then having a business is not for you. And I'm not being mean, but I'm just like, that's the reality of it. I made some decisions in my business career. I'm like, man, wow, I got to own that one. You know what I mean? I got to own it. Because not everybody. I think when we get on social media, everybody always want to tell you all the good stuff. Oh man, I have never made a mistake. I have never did anything that made me oh wow. Everybody want to be perfect when it comes on social media. That's why when I get on social media, I get on and I'm unfiltered, because I'm like, everybody, hey, I stumble over words. I make mistakes. I do that. But you got to also own it too. You got to also own it and then learn from it. You can't just not be like, oh well, I don't want to do this, or I'm not going to make these errors. No, it doesn't. You're not going to ever get anywhere with that type of attitude when it comes on to owning a business. And don't be afraid about making mistakes. You're going to make mistakes, man. You just don't want them to be costly mistakes, but you're going to make mistakes. This is what this business is about. I mean, whatever business you get in, and you think about it, you start a business, you're taking the risk, you're investing the money, you're taking your time, you're doing all those things, right? You're doing all those things. And with that being said, you're going to make mistakes. I don't care how much you research, I don't care how much you do or whatever. Now, do you learn from the mistakes? Okay, do you make those mistakes, the same mistakes over and over again? You shouldn't, but there's times that you're going to do things because you're not perfect. And so when somebody says, hey, you're never going to, make mistakes, or you're not going to lose money, or you're going to do whatever, or you're going to have to fire people, or you're going to do that, that's part of it too. Just telling you how it is, man. I don't want to come up here and sugarcoat everything, because that's not the reality. That's not truthful. And for the people that listen to me and direct message me, that get information that I give to them when it comes on to running a business, it's not going to be a perfect. Every business is sometimes before you make money, you're going to lose money. Just sometimes that, because it's just like, hey, you paying your tuition. You're paying your tuition to learn your business. It's like when you go to college, you paying a tuition. You have not made a dime yet. So we got to change our way our mind thinking. Sometimes you paying tuition to learn the business, not that you just winging it, but you paying a tuition to learn business. So it may not work out as much, but you're still paying a tuition. So when you go into college and you spend it 4 years, 5 years, or whatever it is, it's not for free. You paying a tuition. You paying a tuition to learn. To learn a certain trade or industry or whatever, right? So when you open a business, you're doing the same thing. You learning that business. You're learning, like with me, I'm learning construction. I learn insurance. I learn real estate, all like that. You learn, and sometimes you lose, and you be like, wow, okay, let me regroup and let me not do that again. And then you go back at it. You go like, hey, your sophomore season or your junior season or your senior season or whatever. Or then you go to grad school or whatever. So the same thing with business. Your first year, your second year, third year, fourth year. You're going to go through some things, and that's just part of it. You're going to have to learn it. You can't, we can't have built-in excuses as to why we didn't make it or why we failed or whatever. You can't have an out. You just got to continue to go at it and stay at it day after day, night after night, week after week, and so on. You just have to. So yeah, your employees are going to be your most prized asset. Okay. And then, your next thing is, you got to have vendors. And vendors with me is like, who do I get my concrete from? Who do I get my wood products from? Who do I get my rebar from? Things like that. Who I buy my trusses and things, all those things come into play. How is my relationship with those companies that rely on me to pay them? That say, hey, Darren, I'm gonna give you tens of thousands of dollars to do your job, but I expect you to pay me, because ultimately that's it. I mean, we can go out for happy hour, have a drink, but at the end of the day, they want to get paid. And that's an understanding. It's not about, oh, I'm a nice guy and I always speak to you and this, that, and the other. No, at the end of the day, Darren, if I give you $20,000 to start your job, I want that $20,000 in 30 days. That's it. That's not even a conversation. That's not even up for discussion. So you cannot burn those bridges. So you got to take a responsibility. You can't go out there and spend money like you don't like you big boss or whatever. You get a check in your hand and you know that you got to pay this vendor and that vendor, but you want to go out there and floss. And then when 30 days are up, you don't have the money. You had the money, but you didn't spend the money like you were supposed to. And then you wonder why you don't have that line of credit anymore. You wonder why that they won't give you the money that you need, not the money, but the materials that you need, and you become that contractor that you paying things COD, which is cash on delivery. You're not going to survive out here in this world paying COD in my industry. You're not. Because it doesn't work like that. Because sometimes you got to start a job in order to get the money. And so if you got a vendor out there, if you have a vendor out there that's saying, oh, you want $20,000? Okay, a material, give me the check. And if you got a bad name, they don't want a check. You see what I'm saying? So now you got to go spend that money, and then you also got to pay the people and everything like that, right? So you put yourself in a situation where you're going to be out of business very soon, because you have not nurtured those relationships. You have not cultivated those relationships. You have not treated the people that is going to put you in a situation where you can win. Hope that makes sense to you guys. I hope it does. So you can't be foolish with your money. You can't be to the point where you are irresponsible with your money. You may make six figures. You may have money coming through your account and it looks good, but it's not your money. You understand? It's not your money, because if you're in a position of like in my business, construction, there's so many moving parts that you got to pay vendors, you got to pay subcontractors, you got to pay your insurances to stay in business, you got to pay, all those things play a part. But if you want to be that guy or that woman that want to be boss, like I got this check and I'm gonna go out here because I want to impress people who I don't know, that don't care about me, then go do that. But you're not gonna last very long. When I first got into business, the license was the license. I'm not gonna say it's easy, because nothing is easy, because I don't like to simplify things. But I knew how to study. So I was able to study for something. You know, I was able to study for my license. I was able to get certain licenses to help me out in my career. So that part was not a challenge for me. That part was something that I already did. You know, I went to school, I went to college, I graduated, I did all that kind of stuff. So I already had those skills already in me. But I didn't have no business skills. You know, I didn't know how to run a business. I didn't know what an EIN number was. I didn't know how to incorporate it. I didn't know certain things, you know, about accounting principles and things like that. So that part was something that I had to get introduced to, right? So when I got my when I got my license and stuff like that, I had to okay, how does this really work? You know, I mean, how do I get business? One, who do I hire? Two, where I get my material from? You know what I mean? It's like, where do I go? Do they have places where contractors go? So I had to, learn all that, and then I had to go to these places, and they're like, well, who in the hell are you? You know what I mean? It's like, literally, because they don't know you. Are you just another guy who got a license? I don't know if you, because they don't know if I'm a good business person or I'm a bad business person, or if I'm going to pay them or whatever, or what kind of line of credit they want to give me or not, right? So I had to be like, okay, all right, so this is real now. Okay, all right, this is real. You know, I'm going to concrete companies. They be like, oh, well, we only give you $5,000 of credit, but I need $10,000 because I'm pouring, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, what do you do? So these are what I'm telling you. You gotta get in. You gotta get involved in your business. So that's where the relationships come in with people. You know, that people get to know you, and then you get a couple of vendors that see that you really want to do it, and they take you under their wing, so to speak, and they trust you that you're gonna do the right thing. Because it's not so much the money. Okay? Usually jobs, sometimes people can underpay the job and they get caught with their pants down and they can't, finish the job. But usually it's not the money. I hate to use it. It's the fuck ups. I mean, it's like you got the money and you just doing whatever you want to do with it and you're not paying your bills. It's just like people in their personal life. You're not paying your damn bills. So if you're not paying your bills on your personal life, you got a business that's going to keep you, hopefully put money so you can pay your personal bills. You're screwing that up. So now when you get a job and everybody's signing whatever, and you trying to, and then you get a deposit or whatever, you can't even really budget that money because you got to pay for everything up front. Kind of ridiculous, man. It's kind of ridiculous. So, get to know your vendors. I'm gonna speak about this, often because I get calls from every now and then. People ask me about that. Hey, I'm on this out of business. And I always say, hey, look, get to know your vendors. What is your industry? Okay, who do you get your material from? Make sure they have an accounts for contractors. Go there and speak to the representative or the sales rep or the owner or whoever there. Introduce yourself. Come in there with a game plan. Hey, my name is Darren Brown. I own Darmac Builders. I'm a general contractor. I build residential and commercial. Primarily need, I want to use your company as my vendor for my supplies. If you have a history of where you worked before, you let them know what that was. If you want to throw out some names, hey, I know Charlie, I know Mike, I know this, they can vouch for me, kind of things like that. And that's very important when you throwing out people's names, you better make sure you doing what you're saying. Don't throw out my damn name and you garbage. Don't do that one. Because if somebody call me up and they say, hey, do you know so-and-so, and I know you garbage, I'm going to do, because I want to be, hey, man, Darren, why you tell me this guy was such and such, such and such? Yeah, I'm that guy. Because you're not going to tarnish my name. Oh, no, you're not going to do that one. So if somebody says, hey, man, hey, call this, speak to somebody, that means something. And you got to know that means something. That person is putting his reputation or her reputation on the line for you. So if they give you, and I say, hey, you know what? Hey, John, Sylvia told me to give you a call to talk to you because I just started my business. Well, I put Sylvia out there right now. I put Sylvia out there because the relationship John has is with Sylvia, and it's not with me. Right? So I can't, because the moment, I'm going to tell you, the moment I screw up, and I screw up early, who's going to get that call? Sylvia. She going to get the call. Sylvia, why did you give this guy my number? Why? He's garbage. And now that's a relationship that she probably nurtured and matured over the years, and all of a sudden now, just with one little thing, one thing, I messed it up. Right? So don't do that, man. If you're going to be real about it, be real about it. If you're not going to be about it, don't be about it. So you got your employees, you got your vendors, and then you got your subs. And I'm speaking my industry, because some of you guys may have different industries. I get it. I mean, it is what it is. But some of you guys got here. So when I'm speaking on behalf, and I'm probably going to talk about this again. So if you guys, because I want to repeat this, I'm getting people looking into it right now. So what I want you guys to kind of like understand is, then you got your subs. Okay, your subs like me. My subs are my mechanical, electrical, plumbing, drywall, framing, painting, stucco, you name it. Those are my subs. I gotta have a relationship with them. I gotta have a good relationship with them. I gotta, when my phone comes, like when they see my number, I don't want them to be like, oh God, I don't want to deal with this guy, man. He doesn't pay. He doesn't do such and such, and blah blah blah. You do not want to have that relationship with your subs. Trust me. You do not want to have that relationship, because the moment you get that type of relationship, you might as well close your door, because people will be like, hey man, no, I'm not going. Nope, I'm not going, because he doesn't pay on time, he does this, he don't answer his phone, he's just such and such. How can you, that's why I say you got to formulate your team. And if I don't have a team where I can call my mechanical, electrical, plumbing, driver, framing guys and say, hey, look, I got such and such, I want them to be like, okay, Darren, I want them calling me. And when they see my phone and they miss my call, I want them blowing up my phone. Hey, Darren, what's going on? What you need? That's the conversation I want to have. I saw him miss your call, man. I was in a meeting. What's up? That's what I want. And I want to be able to say, hey, I got this going on. I need you to give me a prize, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Darren, I got you. No problem. Such and such, such a. And then let's say I got everything together and I got the project in some kind of control. I want them to be like, hey, you know what? Hey, I need to start the job. Today is Friday. Hey, I need to start the job on Wednesday. Okay, are you ready to start? So I got to line that up with my people. I want them to guys say, hey, yeah, you know why? Because I want to be the one that they like the most. Yeah, I want to be selfish. I want them to say, hey, you know what? I want to work for Darmat because I know if I go on that job, I know that I'm gonna make the money to feed my family, and I'm gonna go get paid when I'm supposed to get paid. Because see, sometimes people think you out here just to be doing it for a practice. See, I know better. I know that people got families, and or if they don't have families, they got themselves, they got bills to pay. So I'm not gonna just go have you out here working just for the hell of it, knowing that you got bills just like I got bills. I'm not gonna be ducking and dodging, ignoring your call. I know why you're calling. But then I'm ducking and dodging, and then I'm not paying you on time, and then all of a sudden I want you to do me a solid. I want you to finish the job. I want you to finish it on time. I'm putting all these demands on you, but you're not doing it. See, when you open a business, man, it's not just waking up and say I own a business. There's a lot of stuff that goes with that. Okay, so make sure your subs are taken care of. Make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. Make sure that you hold them accountable. But when it's time, when they invoice you, already have that understanding with them and say, hey, okay, once you get done with the job, have an understanding as to when they're going to get paid. So if they do a job and they say, hey, once you get your inspection, I'm going to pay you within 7 days, right? I'm going to pay you within 7 days. They already know. Sometimes if you're a good person or whatever, and if you have the money, you have the cash flow, you may pay them within 3 days. You know how much traction you get with that? You know how much traction you get with that if it's Friday and they was expecting to get paid like next Friday, or if it's Tuesday, or if it's Wednesday, and they finish and they know they're not getting paid, and you give them a check today for work they did. You know how much traction you get with that? Some people, man, somehow y'all let technology get in the way, man. We still human. We work a different kind of way. So you got to know this. But if you don't know it and you don't want to get it, that's up on you. That's on you. Okay, so I'm gonna get with you guys. I gotta step into something to check out something, but I'm glad you guys are watching. If you have any questions, you can DM me. Let me know what you need, how I can help you, all that good stuff. And hey, you know, I may do this on a live watch or whatever. So if you know somebody, let's get it. All right, thanks.